and Marana Mornings. Arizona Sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Time spent underwater is not an official baseball statistic, but teams that loiter around 500 and flirt with losing records can be very stressful for a team in a city. As one fan told me, it's like living paycheck to paycheck, and it can be as demoralizing as a blown save. And this is where we're at after the first major milepost of the season. A Diamondbacks team that has endured a handful of heartbreaking losses, a team that is 1-3 when scoring 11 or more runs, and a team that just lost 5 consecutive games by a total of 6 runs. Those are stats that can rip the soul out of a baseball club. Now, to their credit, the Diamondbacks have been resilient, but they're also underperforming and underachieving. They're as average at home as they are on the road, and currently there are 7 teams in the National League with over 30 victories. The Diamondbacks are not one of them, a team that is 27-27. They're also careening towards another weighty decision. What to do with Ryne Nelson and the impending return of Eduardo Rodriguez? Because really smart organizations don't hide one of their best starting pitchers in middle relief, because bad things happen when you start serving payroll over talent. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW. Make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
So will D-Rod probably be back before this term comes up again?
I don't know that answer. He's going to throw a bullpen tomorrow, and we'll take it from there.
He's healthy, though?
Yeah, he's feeling great. He's feeling great. It was 3-55. Throw the bullpen tomorrow. I think we want to build him up a little bit more than 55 pitches. So that if I could kind of tip my hand a little bit, I feel very strongly that he's going to make at least one more rehab start. So there we go. Whoever, the Washington Nationals are probably listening to what's going on right now, but there we go. So they can prep for Nelly. All right? It's like, I don't know, classified stuff. I love it. I love that information. When it gets thrown on my desk, I'm like, tell me more.
Story Lovullo updating the situation on Eduardo Rodriguez and Ryne Nelson. Nelson pitched last night, 6 2/3, scoreless innings. I was surprised to see him out there as long as he was out there, because he's been on a pitch count, hasn't been stretched out to full starter status just yet, which is kind of an issue when he's asked to start. He's done a great job in that role, and he continues. It seems like this happens quite frequently with Ryne Nelson, that he makes things very difficult to keep him out of the starting rotation. Right now, unless I see Ryne Nelson slip up or Eduardo Rodriguez do something great at the major league level, I think this is an easy decision.
It's an easy decision until you're the one who has to explain it to the player you're sitting down.
True.
And that's what worries me here, because they know Ryne Nelson is a young player. They know young players understand biding your time, paying your dues, And they understand that there are financial commitments to Eduardo Rodriguez that complicate this issue. But I think with the way this team has been going, I think you have to seriously look at this and make sure you do not do Ryne Nelson dirty here. Because that's the kind of thing that can make a clubhouse go, what are we doing here? He's clearly – now, I'm not saying Ryne Nelson is better than Corbin Burnes, but Ryne Nelson has been spectacular since the middle of last year until now. And he was a victim of the numbers crunch with the excess numbers of starting pitchers they had. The Jordan Montgomery situation kind of cleared up the gridlock a little bit. But now what do you do with this? I think you also have to monitor Zack Gallen. Zack Gallen has got 29 leading 29 walks right now.
I knew he had struggled in that area. I didn't know he had the most in the league.
And so Zack Gallen is struggling, and Eduardo Rodriguez has been underperforming. Corbin Burnes has come around. Merrill Kelly is shining and doing Merrill Kelly things. You can't sit on Ryne Nelson if he continues to do this. And again, I think the idea that they've suddenly decided that they want to build up Eduardo Rodriguez a little more is buying time for this issue. So I think you kind of handicap this properly. They're playing a game. Ryne Nelson's next start's going to be Sunday against the Nationals, and if he's dominant in that one, he's probably going to make the decision for the team. then the question becomes, if that's the case, do you think about doing something as drastic as trading Zack Gallen?
He's in the last year of his deal.
And if you think you're not going to re-sign him and you identify pieces that this team is clearly lacking, maybe a back-end bullpen guy or maybe another power bat, you can test the waters of a Zack Gallen like trade. But it feels like if you do that and it gets back to the ball club, then it's one of those scenarios where you're thinking about doing this. Why? I mean, yeah.
Well, also then you only have 5 starters, and if anybody gets hurt, then you've got a big drop off between whoever the fill-in is there. There's not another Ryne Nelson.
But as Sammy said, if you know you're not signing him to an extension, and there's been no reporting on it, but there's been kind of this assumption that don't know if the Diamondbacks are going to be able to go that deep into the payroll woods, if you will.
And
I don't know.
It's an iffy situation with Zack Gallen right now because even if you go back to his last start Friday in St. Louis, if Alec Thomas makes a catch, which would have been a remarkable top 10 play, but he got there. If he makes that catch, we're talking about Zack Gallen bouncing back, having a great night in St. Louis.
You're right.
So that's how thin the margin was for that.
Yeah. Just like as I mentioned, the play Lourdes Gurriel Jr. couldn't make stopping that gap shot when Merrill Kelly was on the mound. That ruined a very good outing for Merrill Kelly.
Torey Lovullo acknowledges he's got a tough decision coming up, but says sign him up for it.
Very difficult, and I like tough decisions. I love hard conversations. I love digging into coaches to give me reasons why we do things and how we're doing them. I like when we're challenged by players performing at a very, very good level. When they're doing their job, we should have those type of tough conversations.
That is such a concept that is so foreign to me. I like having tough conversations.
Listen,
most normal people don't like that.
I don't know if Torey's being honest about that. I mean, come on, Torey cares about these guys. That can't be something he enjoys.
Yep. Ryne Nelson also his thoughts on whatever role his will be going forward.
I'm gonna probably give you some similar answers that I gave to you last year. I think just gonna keep going about my business the same way and keep trying to get outs for the team and help the team win. So. Whatever role that's in, pretty out of my control.
You know you want to make it hard on them, but you don't want to focus on that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, making it hard on them means I'm going out there and doing my job, so that's all I'm trying to do right now. It's just prepare each week and take care of the body and make sure the arm stays healthy and go out there and get some outs.
And I have every faith in Ryne Nelson that he will do just that on Sunday. He's going to make things very difficult.
Yeah. Well, listen, he's looking electric, and he looks like he should be a starting pitcher, which he is.
Rodriguez pitched a sim game when Torey mentioned 3 innings, 55 pitches. That was a simulated game. Do we know if it's going to be a competitive start that he makes in the minors? Or
I doubt that. I don't think they would expose him like that. I think he would just throw on the side.
Well, in that Ryne Nelson answer, I wasn't there. I didn't see his body language, but from his tone, it almost kind of sounded like, dude, what else do you want me to do?
Pretty much.
Am I wrong in that? I've gone out there, I've dealt. My ERA is 1.68. My team wins when I play, when I start. He kind of seems a little annoyed, maybe. And I didn't see his body language, but from his tone.
He probably felt that way going into the season. What more did I have to do last year to prove that I should be in this?
Well, he was pretty level-headed. When he sat down with Vinny and I at Salt River Fields, we asked him directly, how do you frame a season when you know you might be the odd man out? And he was very realistic about it.
Yeah, but also, can you imagine the reaction in December? Oh, cool, we got Corbin Burns. Oh, crap.
Right.
We got Corbin Burns.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So, look, Corbin Burns is starting to pitch like that guy. Merrill Kelly is starting to pitch like Merrill Kelly. Ryne Nelson's holding up his end of the bargain. Everybody else has got to level up. This whole team has got to level up.
I would agree. And feast on these teams while you can.
Look, again, the Phillies are red hot now. The Cardinals are red hot now.
Well,
nobody thought the Cardinals were going to be part of this conversation.
The National League West, by and large, has come down to earth a little bit. I mean, nobody's running away with it. Once they got into division play, things started to even out a bit. But then you're flipping through the channels and you're watching Shohei throw batting practice and hitting 97 miles an hour, and you're like, oh,
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
Yeah, and the Dodgers and Robbie Ray is 7-0 with a 2.56 ERA for the Giants are having one of those years where they just pop up and they're good, and you didn't expect them to be good. They do this like once every 5 years.
Yep, they do.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.